Hi, my name is Mrs. Rossi and I'm one of the counselors in the guidance department. Today I'm going to do a brief tutorial on Naviance to help you with your college and career exploration. So I'm going to share my screen so I can show you step by step how to work through Naviance. So to begin, we are going to go to the Grayslake Central webpage. If you go over to the menu on the right-hand side, click the menu button and scroll down to Student Services. Once you get to Student Services, you're going to click on Naviance Access. You're going to log in as a student and then type in your D127 email address. Once you log in, you will see the home page. So across the top are the buttons that you're going to use most frequently. So we have the home page, which we're currently on. We have our colleges tab, careers tab, and about me tab. So we're going to start off on the home page and just go through briefly what each tab is able to offer you. So the first one is scholarships. As we know, college can be expensive. So the scholarships are available to you are mostly local scholarships. So if you click on the scholarship button, it gives you a list of all the local scholarships that are populated thus far. Ms. Marquardt will continue to add any scholarships that continue to become available. So it gives you the name of the scholarship, the amount, the category, the deadline, and then any identifying criteria. If you click on the specific scholarship, it tells you if it's 2-year, 4-year, what organization is. And then if you scroll all the way down, it gives you the website and then the deadline and the award amount. Typically on the website is where you will go to fill out the application for the scholarship. So again, these are local scholarships. Some of them are $500, some are $1,000, some are $1,500. Each little bit counts. So it might ask for a letter of recommendation. You might need an essay, but we really encourage you to take the time to fill this out. It can help towards books, it can help towards your meals, or to just the overall cost of your college education. So if we go back to the home page, the next thing is transcripts. So transcripts need to be filled out for each school that you're attending. So if you click on the transcript button, it brings you to our online official transcript release form. This form needs to be filled out for each school that you're applying to. So if you're applying to 3 colleges, this needs to be filled out in its entirety 3 times. If you're applying to a Common App school, Ms. Marquardt will then send it on to the counselor to fill out the counselor portion, and then it'll be sent from the counselor directly to our registrar, Ms. Gargiulo. If you are doing a self-report school like ISU or Purdue, you do not need to fill out this transcript release form. You're going to need to ask your counselor for a copy of your unofficial transcript so that you can self-report your scores on your application. So if you close that, we are going to next move on to college visits. So as most of you know, with the pandemic going on right now, a lot of schools are not offering in-person tours. Some campuses are still offering them, but many are only offering virtual college visits. College visits are a great way to meet the college admissions rep, to get a better idea of the college, what the college has to offer, housing, food, things like that. So it's really important, and we encourage you to sign up for college visits of those schools that you are interested in. So if you click on the college visit tour, or tab, excuse me, it will give you a link to sign up for the virtual college visit. So if you click on the link, it will bring you to this registration page. So you need to fill it out in its entirety. It's basically asking you your year, the name of the college, what class you will be missing, and then what hour, the teacher, and that you understand that you are responsible for making up any work that you have missed. Mrs. Marquardt will directly send this to your teachers so that they know that you're missing the class. But again, it's up to you to make sure that you touch base with your teacher and let them know that you will be missing class. If you go back, it gives you the full list of upcoming college visits. If you click on a specific school, for example, Bradley University is coming on Tuesday at 8 o'clock. If you click on the Bradley University, it gives you the information, the date, the time, and if you scroll down, it gives you additional information, and then you can add it directly to your calendar so that you don't forget. Again, once you fill out the college visit form, it'll generate an email to Ms. Marquardt, and she will forward it on to the attendance office so that you are not missing any class, or that your teachers know that you're missing class. The next tab we're going to talk about is the colleges tab. So if you click on the colleges tab, it gives you colleges I'm thinking about. This tab is important because oftentimes you may need a letter of recommendation for your application. If you do not, we ask you to not ask your teacher. For example, U of I does not want any letters of recommendation. However, if your school does need a letter of recommendation, we ask that you reach out to your teacher. If you scroll down here on the left-hand side, it says letters of recommendation under my colleges. Please click on the letters of recommendation. It will bring you to the request page. We ask that you add a request. From the drop-down, it says, who would you like to write this letter of recommendation? You can choose from any of the teachers in the drop-down. So for example, I'm gonna choose Mrs. Bierbauer. I'm gonna ask her if she'll write me a letter of recommendation. Typically, if we were in person at school, we would ask that you ask the teacher in person. However, we're remote, it might be helpful to send an email ahead of time and confirm with the teacher that they can write you a letter of recommendation. Then you would go in, choose the teacher's name, select from your list of schools. Do you want your letter of recommendation sent to all schools or just specific schools? If you want all schools, you click on, I would like all schools currently in my list. If you'd like specific schools, you click on that tab, and then let's just say I wanted it for Northern Michigan University. Then I would hit, then I would go down and include a personal note. I would say, Mrs. Bierbauer, thank you for agreeing to write me a letter of recommendation. Please have your letter submitted through Naviance by October 15th to Northern Michigan University. Thank you for your time, Stephanie Rossi. I would scroll down and hit submit request, and then it generates an email directly to Ms. Bierbauer to remind her about writing me a letter of recommendation. Then to continue with the letter of recommendation portion, you'd go under the About Me tab. Under the About Me tab, there is a letter of recommendation request survey. We ask that you click on that and fill that survey out. It asks essentially where you want to, what your potential career is, what college or majors you want to do, what interests, what you've been involved in. So if you scroll down and fill this application out, you can update it as many times as you need to. If you didn't fill out it in its entirety to begin with, you can go back and update any information by just clicking update. Again, we ask that you fill out this letter of recommendation survey. It's going to help your counselor or your teacher write the best letter that's tailored to your needs. Again, letters of recommendation are very time consuming. So again, we ask that you only ask the teacher for what you need. Typically, schools do not need any more than 2 letters of recommendation. And you have to make sure that your teachers know what schools they're sending to them, sending your letters to if they're sending them to different schools. So that's the letter of recommendation portion of Naviance. Then, for those of you who are registering or applying via the Common App, you're gonna again go to the Colleges tab. You're going to go to the colleges I'm applying to, and it's gonna say, usually in a salmon color, it'll say you need to match your Common App with Naviance. So if you go to Match Accounts and you scroll down, you will see matching your accounts. You need to put in your Common App email address and your date of birth. Once you put them in, it will show up like this and say that your Common App account has been matched. Once you do that, it allows us to be able to send your transcript and your letters of recommendation via Naviance. If you do not match your Common App with Naviance, then we are unable to send your application materials, your transcript, and your letter of recommendation through Naviance. So this is really important. It talks about waiving your FERPA status. So you need to make sure in the Common App you're waiving your FERPA rights. This essentially is saying that you're entrusting the people that are writing you letters of recommendation to be honest in writing on your behalf, and it's waiving your privacy rights, which you need to do in order to apply to most colleges. So again, going in here, matching your Common App, that way it allows us to send your transcripts. Additionally, under the college's homepage, sometimes it'll ask you to enter the zip code of the school that you're applying to, or your current school. So we are 60030 for Grays Lake Central High School. And sometimes it'll ask you to re-log in. So again, under the colleges tab, there's other information that you can find through this. So if you go to the colleges home, if you go to research specific colleges, you can go to the colleges I'm thinking about. You can compare colleges. When you compare two colleges, it takes your current GPA, and if you have an SAT score in there, and it compares them to the specific schools that you're requesting. So for example, if I wanted to add colleges to compare, I could click on Augustana and I could click on Bradley. I would save selection, and then I would say finish searching. And then again, it takes my GPA and then the middle 50% for Augustana, the middle 50% for Bradley, and then it also gives you your single SAT scores. So those again are the middle 50%. It talks about the acceptance rate over here. So by doing the college compare, it allows you to see, is this a reach school? Is this a target school? Is this a safe school? So again, we always recommend that you apply to around 5 to 7 colleges. Again, maybe having that reach school, having some target schools, and then having some safe schools that you know are a shoe-in for you. So again, under the colleges tab, there is, under the colleges I'm thinking about, it allows you to do an advanced college search. So if you're still unsure of what college you might be interested in, you can go to this advanced college search, and it's gonna allow you to do a search that's as broad or as narrow as you would like. So it starts off by saying school type. So for example, I wanna go to a 4U university, public or private at this point doesn't matter to me. It asks you a number of different criteria. You can click them or not. Then click next. It asks you specific distances and locations. So for this specific search, I'm gonna say I wanna stay in the Midwest. I'm gonna scroll down again and hit next. And again, you can check all these boxes, none of these boxes. It's really up to you. Obviously, the less number of boxes that you check, it's gonna make your search broader. So I'm just gonna leave these. I'm gonna hit next. It talks about percentage accepted, which at this point I have no preference. And then it talks about intercollegiate sports. Are you interested in anything like that? So for example, I'm gonna say I want Division III sports through the NCAA, for example. And then I can put female, and then hit next. And this is probably one of the most important parts if you want to put in your major. So for example, I'm going to put in business, and I'm going to hit go. And right now it gives me all the different categories of business to choose from. So you have the option of selecting a specific type of business like accounting and business management, or you can select all types of business. So at this point, I'm going to hit all, add all, and then I'm going to view my matches. So based on the criteria that I've chosen so far for your university in the Midwest with at least one of these business majors, I'm going to scroll down and it's going to give me a list of colleges that match my search. So, unfortunately, since I did not click a number of boxes, my search is very broad at this point. So for example, if I click on Augustana College, It is going to give me an overview of the school. It's going to talk about the studies offered, student life, admissions, costs. I can go right here and schedule a virtual tour. I can communicate directly with an admissions rep, or I can apply online and learn more. So on this initial first page, it talks about the average net price, which here we always encourage you guys not to necessarily look at the sticker price because based on financial aid and grants and scholarships, this may not be the number that you are paying when you go. Talks about the graduation rate and acceptance rate. It gives you some quick facts about the school. So it talks about that it's a private school. It talks about the undergraduate enrollment, job placement, some identifying information. And then it talks about how you compare with others who have applied to Augustana. So I always find this really interesting. It just basically gives you an idea of where we fall in their acceptance rate. So typically students between a 3.24 and a 4.0 essentially are accepted to Augustana, and then ACT scores between 23 and 28. So this again will help you in identifying whether a school is a target school, a reach school, or anything like that. So you can look up any school. Again, you can compare colleges. So Naviance is really one of those tools that the more you use it, the more you're going to learn about it and the more useful it's going to be to you. For some of us, we may not know what we want to major in yet. I know in freshman and sophomore year, we did some of the career interest inventories and personality inventories. If you go under careers, there's careers I'm thinking about. You can explore career clusters and pathways. So there's the career cluster finder if you want to know what career cluster you're interested in, or the career interest profiler. So this is going to be a number of questions asking, do you like to work with people? Do you like to work with your hands? Do you want to sit at a desk? And once you finish the profiler, it's going to spit out a number of jobs that you may be interested in. So again, if you are undecided in knowing what you'd like to do post high school, your counselors can always reset those if you've already taken those inventories so that you can do them again. Again, Naviance is a great tool. We use it for all of our college and career advising and supervision. Again, if you need letters of recommendation, this is where you need to go to request the letters of recommendation, as well as hook up your Common App with Naviance so that we can send all of your documents to your colleges on time. Again, please make sure when you are applying to your colleges that you remember that your counselors need 2 full weeks, so 10 school days, to process your applications. So it's really important, if the deadline is November 1st, that you have all of your information and paperwork in 2 weeks prior to the deadline. With a number of seniors, we need to make sure that we have time to process all of the information. As we are speaking right now, a number of the counselors, or actually all of the counselors, are starting in meeting with seniors to go over your graduation progress and your college and career aspirations. So if your counselors have sent you an email, please respond to that email, or if there's a Calendly invite, please respond to that as well so you can get your appointment set up and get your college and career things going. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your counselor at any time. You can email us or call us or text us via our Google Voice number. So if you have any questions, please let us know. Hopefully this tutorial was helpful for you. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out to your counselor.